The stories in this video were shared online by people who claim these terrifying experiences happen while camping in isolated parts of the United States. From strange figures appearing outside tents to footsteps circling campsites in the middle of the night, these are 4 true camping horror stories. Story 1, The Whistling in Oregon. This story was shared online by 3 college friends from Oregon, USA, who claimed they experienced something terrifying while camping deep inside a national forest. Back in 2019, the 3 friends decided to spend their summer break camping near a river far away from the city. The campsite they chose was completely isolated. No nearby campers, no cabins, and no phone signal for miles. At first, everything felt normal. They spent the evening fishing near the river, cooking food over a fire, and recording videos for social media. But around 2 a.m., one of them suddenly woke up after hearing footsteps outside the tent. At first, he assumed it inside the tent said a word. Then suddenly, the figure walked backward into the woods and disappeared. The friends stayed awake until sunrise. The next morning, they found muddy footprints surrounding the entire campsite. But strangely, there were no footprints leading away from it. Story 2, The Highway Rest Stop. A man from Arizona shared this experience online after driving alone across Nevada late one night. According to him, it was the creepiest experience of his life. He'd been driving for almost 6 hours straight when he stopped at a nearly empty highway rest stop around midnight. The place felt abandoned. Only one old car was parked near the bathrooms. While filling his car with gas, he noticed another man standing beside the building. The man wasn't smoking, wasn't using his phone. He was just standing there, staring directly at him. At first, he ignored it, but after several minutes, the man still hadn't moved. Feeling uncomfortable, he quickly got back into his car and left the rest stop. About 10 minutes later, he looked into his rearview mirror and realized the same car from the rest stop was now behind him, following him. At first, he thought it was just coincidence, but every time he changed lanes, the other car copied him. The empty highway stretched for miles through the desert. No nearby towns, no other vehicles. Then suddenly, the car behind him turned its headlights off, completely disappearing into the darkness. Terrified, he accelerated as fast as possible. Nearly 20 minutes later, he finally saw another gas station and pulled over, but the strange car was gone. The next morning, he checked the side of his car and found several muddy handprints near the back door. Story 3, The Cabin Camera. Two friends from Washington rented a small cabin deep in the woods for a weekend hiking trip. The cabin was surrounded by forest, with the nearest town nearly an hour away. The first night felt peaceful. Heavy rain hit the roof while they watched movies and relaxed inside. Around 1 a.m., one of them noticed a tablet connected to the cabin's outdoor security cameras. Out of boredom, they started checking the live camera feeds. Most of the cameras showed nothing except rain and darkness. But one camera facing the forest suddenly caught their attention. Near the edge of the tree, someone was standing there, a tall figure wearing dark clothing, completely motionless. At first, they thought it might be another hiker, but after watching for several minutes, the figure still hadn't moved. Not even once. The rain continued pouring heavily, but the person remained there staring directly at the cabin. One of the friends nervously joked about it, while the other locked the front door. Then suddenly, the camera feed glitched. For a few seconds, the screen went black, and when the image returned, the figure was gone. A loud knock immediately echoed from the cabin door. Both friends froze. Neither of them moved. Another knock followed. This time louder. They stayed awake until sunrise, too afraid to even look outside. The next morning, they discovered wet footprints leading around the cabin windows, as if someone had spent hours walking around the house during the night. Story 4. The Firewatch Tower. This story was posted online by a former Firewatch worker from Montana. During summer wildfire season, he worked alone inside a Firewatch tower deep in the mountains. The tower stood far away from hiking trails, surrounded by miles of forest. Most nights were quiet, but one night around midnight, he heard metal footsteps echoing from the tower stairs outside. At first, he assumed it was an animal, but the footsteps sounded human, slow, heavy, and deliberate. He grabbed a flashlight and opened the tower door carefully. The staircase below disappeared into complete darkness. Then suddenly, the footsteps stopped. Everything became silent. For several seconds, nothing moved. Then he pointed his flashlight farther down the stairs, and halfway below, he saw a man standing there, motionless. The figure wore dark clothing and stared upward without speaking. The worker yelled at the man, asking how he got there. No response. Instead, the figure slowly began climbing the stairs. One step at a time, the worker immediately backed into the tower and locked the door. Outside, the metal footsteps continued climbing. Then suddenly, they stopped directly outside the door. Silence. No movement, nothing. Several minutes later, the worker finally looked outside again, but the staircase was completely empty. The next morning, park rangers searched the entire area surrounding the tower, but they never found any footprints or any sign that another person had ever been there. If you enjoyed these stories, subscribe for more true horror stories every week. And remember, sometimes the scariest things in the woods are not animals.